Hi everybody, it's me, Catalina, and after we finished our bunny, I decided to figure out what else to make. And I have a kit that I bought from Walmart for a bird. However, it was really complicated and it was very not beginner friendly. So I decided to adjust it and change it and make pretty much my own pattern. You can't see it very well, but instead of every single piece being separated, you have the body and you have the head connected already, so you don't have to sew it together. Because honestly, I hate sewing. I can sew if I need to, but if I can make the pattern together and not have to worry about that, then that is an extra step that we don't have to worry about. So I went ahead and I made it with my pattern, and here we go. We got a little bird, we got a tail, we got some wings. Look at that, isn't that cute? This yarn is Loops and Threads soft classic acrylic something in yellow, and I decided that for the pattern that we're gonna make with you guys, pretty much the same thing. Loops and Threads acrylic. It's a medium 4. You guys remember how we taught right there, and it says to use a 5.5 millimeter, but you guys know that that means, especially if we're going to be making little animals, you need a 5 millimeter, not a 5.5. So we have a 5 millimeter, we have our yarn, and I decided to make a smaller little bird just out of fun, out of curiosity. And so here we go. This guy looks more like what the original pattern says. However, I did make it with my pattern where the head and the body's connected. So I have my pattern here. We have our hook. You might need some filling. You will need scissors of any kind. If you have nail scissors, you know those scissors, you can use those. They're very sharp and they're really good for yarn. I accidentally vacuumed my embroidery needle. A little like metal thing. So I had to go buy one. And because I use buttons for the eyes, I have to find an embroidery needle that can go through the buttons. So I bought one. Well, 6. But I bought them. So you're going to need embroidery needles. What else? Later on, I'll show you guys, because the pattern that I got this pattern from, the kit, it actually comes with written out the instructions, the pattern for a beak. And it's a bit different than the way I did it. So for the beak on this guy, because it's a little bit bigger, you're going to want, I'm gonna say, a size 4 light yarn. I'm using this, which is a red, and it's a lot thinner. In fact, for this, I'm also making something. I actually am using a 4 millimeter for this kind of yarn. So you want something that's a bit smaller. You don't want it too small where you need to use like originally that 2.5. We're not using that. The smallest we might go would be a, what is this? What do I have? I think this is a 3.5, maybe. But yeah, no, we're gonna be mainly using our 5 millimeter, and yeah, we're gonna be making every part of him, and even his little hair. I just love him. I love him. So cute. And I like it this way because it just looks better than having the neck slightly loppy. Because this way, the neck doesn't flop as much. Does that I feel like that makes sense. You know, maybe, no, probably. I hope it makes sense. The kind of stitching that we will be using is very basic. We're basically we're going to be making our magic rings, increasing, decreasing, And that's about it. At the very end, you're going to be doing slip stitch. Not really, but we're not going to go crazy like last time where we did a treble crochet. So it's pretty simple. I think that's it. Oh, you are going to need a minimum of 2 stitch markers, one for your first stitch and then one for your last stitch to be going round. I think that's it. Yeah, can't wait to do this with you guys. This is gonna be so much fun. I've already made, since I figured out the new pattern, which I had to, oh my gosh, I had to rewrite it because the pattern that gives you is you make the head from top to bottom and then you make the body from bottom to top. So I had to take the pattern for the body and flip it. Not just flip it for left-handed people, but flip it upside down. So it's completely different, because otherwise it would have looked super awkward. But I've already made this guy, not in the same color, but in different sizes. I've made this guy. I made this guy. I'm in the process of finishing a pink one and a red one. So my mom really likes these. I think she wants to put them on the dash of her car, at least one smaller. Maybe not this guy. They don't sit, so you would have to, I don't know, put something down here so it would stay flat. But my mom made a really good observation. What if we put yarn here and we can hang him and then he's flying? I think that is a perfect idea. I think it's going to look great. I think it's going to be fabulous. So we're going to be making this guy in a little bit of lighter yellow. My dad picked this out for me. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea how much yarn we're going to need. No idea. I have no idea how to calculate it either. I can tell you this works, and this was $3. So as long as you have a little bit of yarn. I also used the smaller yarn, which was, let me a sec. I will tell you, 232 yards of this, and it had already been used, most of it, and they still have a lot left over, so this is perfect. Half of this would be fine. Sorry about my hair. I think that's it. This video is gonna probably go out soon, and I'm gonna try and go ahead and start filming. That way I can be a little bit more with you guys, because I know you guys probably get really tired of just waiting for my videos to drop. I'm doing this as like not even a side job. This is just me doing fun. And I'm like, I know people want to learn patterns, and I know patterns are really hard for beginners, because it was super hard for me. It took me 2 weeks to just learn how to do magic ring, and I'm still, you know, some things are just so hard, and I'm coming up onto a year of crocheting, and honestly, all that I've learned is that the people who make patterns, some of them are so stupid. There are some patterns that I found online that are written so that they just, it makes no sense, you know? How about this? Let me show you. This is the original pattern. This is the pattern that I bought. Well, this is a copy of the pattern that I bought from Walmart, from Yarn Inspirations, right? They have a YouTube video of somebody making this. The YouTube video is about a year or 2 years old, and not only is the name wrong, not only does she not show how to make half of this, she doesn't show how to connect, how to sew everything together. She doesn't show how to crochet the tail. She doesn't show how to crochet half of it. And she definitely doesn't show you how to crochet the head to the body. The video is about, I want to say, 5 minutes long. Yeah, 5 minutes long to do, hold on, all of this. Yeah. And then down here at the bottom, it shows you the placement for how you want to sew it. That's not where you want to sew it. That's also not where it tells you to sew it. It actually says to sew it higher, but okay. And then here is, well, it's showing you how to make a magic ring. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's not how you make a magic ring. If you look closely, that makes no sense. None at all. And everything is just, it's written very horribly. Like let me explain. So you guys know what a decrease is. I've taught you invisible decrease and normal classic decrease. Here, in most kits that you buy, or most patterns that you see online, if they're really well made, they're going to give you a little section that says abbreviations, and it's going to tell you what they're using. That way they can make their pattern shorter, and so you don't have to guess on what it means, right? So obviously they show that a CH means chain, SC single crochet, INC increase, and then you guys know that for decrease it is just DEC, right? Not for them. No. Apparently Walmart decided that DC is not long enough for an abbreviation. So it's now SC dash DEC. And then it says draw up a loop in each of next to CH YOH and draw through all 3 loops on hook ST. Stitch. Did you guys make sense of that? No, me neither, because that's not it. So they should have said hook and then next line ST stands for stitch, but they don't use they use ST like in every single word. And also we know a better way of decreasing now. We know invisible decrease, which is easier and quicker. And then yeah, it's just very written out. And apparently a magic ring is make MC, make a magic ring using MC, which is main color. Make a magic ring, chain 1, 6 single crochet in ring, do not join. That's, you don't need to chain 1, you just use slip stitch. That's how you, that's, and then 6 single crochets into that. Tug tail to tighten ring. Yes, we know how to do that. Mark last stitch. Move marker each round. Perfect. We know how to do that. Then it says increase in each stitch around, which it could have just said increase. But you guys see, it looks like it's a lot of writing. It looks like it's a lot, but it's not, because magic ring 6. There you go. Increase times 6. That's the same thing as increase in each stitch around. But this way, you know that you're multiplying by 6. You're 2 times 6. Because if you increase and then x whatever number, it's increase times that 2 times that number. So you know you need double that number. Or single crochet increase 1 plus 2 times whatever number. And I know we're doing a lot of that. Like there's going to be one where it's 6 single crochets and then an increase 6 times to equal 48. And it's going to be a lot to write out, to remember all of that. So if you guys have it, use it. Tally marker. I found this one. I have no idea. Michael sells them. I don't know about Walmart. I do know Amazon has them for like $5. And they're pretty easy. You wrap it around your hanger and as you crochet. I have also written this thing out. This is my little cheat sheet for counting the stitches. Because I try not to use, because I use my stitch marker and I don't reset it after every single, little for 6 times, I just keep going. I've done this to remember. So 6 single crochets, comma, increase. I know that the first time that we finish that little section, it's going to be 8 stitches. Then the next time, it's going to be 16, 24, 32, 40, and then 48. This way, I don't have to reset and start counting over again. And that way, I make sure I have 48 at the end, but also that I have every single increase in the right order. I've done that for single crochet increase, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4, 5. And then I also did it for decreasing. That way, it's easier for me. It's a little cheat sheet I made. You guys can make your own. This is what it looks like. It's not that hard. Here, can you guys see it? It's not that hard to make. It takes 5 minutes. You just keep going as you count through. I'm going to be using it. You guys won't be able to see it because I will be counting it out loud within the video as I crochet with you guys. So that there's no worry on that. Okay. Now, expectations for the length of the video. I'm going to try and make each video about 20-25 minutes long. I definitely don't want to go up to 30 because I feel like that is too long and you guys are going to get bored really quick. I'm also going to be doing I will also be writing that part of the pattern that we are working on in the video in the description. However, there is a few parts like row 10 to 15 where you just single crochet around. I will not be showing that on camera like last time. I'm going to be pausing, doing that off camera, and then the next video will be continuing after that. So I won't be writing that pattern down, that part of the pattern down. Let me think what else. There will be a section when we make the body. If you guys look, the body's not straight. It's not like the head. The head is simple because you're just increase, decrease. That's fine. We can do that. This is a little complicated because we want this to be a little flatter and we want this to have that sort of thing. So the reason that this is going to be different is because it's going to be a little complicated. I'll give you an example. Row 24 is increase 4 single crochet, increase 6 single crochet, increase 4 single crochet, 2 increases. that's a lot. And I've also written a cheat sheet for that as well, because and here we go. It doesn't look like much. But see right here, row 24. Because you're going to start with an increase, so you know 2, 6, 8, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24. That way, as we use the stitch marker, or as I read it out loud, I know when to increase, when to not. So yeah. That's about it. I think that's all. Yeah. We're going to be starting with magic ring, increase, increase, and increase. I think we're going to be doing about 4 rows of video, 4 or 5 rows, depending on how long it goes. The first video is probably going to be a little bit longer, but yeah, that's it. I see that I'm getting close to 21 minutes, so that's all I have to say. I feel like I rambled for a really long time, but thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and have fun crocheting.